One Piece chapter 1168. You guys know the drill. I'm ready. I was actually streaming right before this came out, so I had to end the stream for you guys. So I'm missing out on Dokkan playtime for this chapter. It better not be crap. Like always, I saw slight spoilers, but I don't know exactly what's going on in this chapter. So going in, I can't really say I have some predictions, right? But from what I know, I think I want some Shanks stuff or some Loki stuff. But regardless, I'm yapping. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're new. We make these chapter reviews every week a chapter comes out. It's a chill vibe every single time, so join us. But without further ado, let's just get into this chapter. So for the chapter cover today, we have a family of sheep knitting 6 gloves for Hachan. I don't really care. So the title of today's chapter is Elbaf Snow. Alright, so we start the chapter all over the world. It says 15 years ago, that same year, so I had to go check last chapter to see what they're talking about. But it's the same year that Fisher Tiger released all the slaves and got free and was recognized for it. Everyone's reacting to giants being in the Marines and everybody's actually with it. This specific piece of dialogue is important here. I always thought they looked scary, but now I wouldn't mind meeting one. And of course, the reason for that is because they're part of the Marines and actually supporting the cause, right? In the next 2 panels, we actually see what Harold always wanted to happen. We're seeing people trade goods from Elbaf. They're talking about Elbaf seafood that's super popular and top quality Elbaf cedar. This guy looks insanely sketchy, but I'm not gonna judge it by his face. We come back to Elbaf and Harold's actually announcing something. When we finally become a member nation, I think we should build sightseeing ships so our people can freely visit all of our allies. We're actually a rare minority from the perspective of the outside world, but there are many nations out there with a wide variety of races coexisting. This is thanks to a culture of mutual respect. Let's join the larger world, make new friends, and grow in knowledge together. Look bro, this is the kind of thing that gets me confused about this entire situation. Because again, Harold's goals and his dream is pretty set in stone. It's pretty clear, okay? He wants to join everyone else, right? He wants to atone for the giant sins. He doesn't want to stay and be the same kingdom of violence that they've always been. He wants to turn a new leaf. And so when Rox pulls up and he's like, bro, we're gonna take back control of this world. We're going to overthrow the world government. We're gonna use your manpower to do that. Obviously, Harold's like, what are you talking about? And so as I was saying, it's not as black and white as people make it seem to be. Like, yes, the world government is bad, but like, bro, Harold's dream, how do we get that done? On the other side, you can bring up what Dofi said. He was like, history shall be written by the victors. And so if Rox and Harold actually managed to overthrow the world government, then maybe he could have been able to do the exact same thing. But the means is the main problem. Sure, again, the ends is probably world peace, you know what I'm saying, like giants coexisting, but like, bro, the means isn't how Harold wants to do it. And he told Rox that specifically. He was like, bro, we are not the same clan of violent people. We are giants and we want to coexist with you guys. It's super nuanced, bro, and I love that Oda keeps on telling us this. And no, I'm not making a video on that. Like, I've been thinking about that, but yeah, nah. Damn, I didn't even scroll down. I scrolled down and the first panel I see is a giant literally saying, yeah, let's ditch this warrior crap. I mean, come on, like, bro, do you guys see what's going on here? Harold, after his speech, says he'll make it happen. Ida, and it's kind of crazy that Ida's the main reason why this is even happening, bro. She's the GOAT. We cut to Walrus School, so apparently Saul actually made the school that Harold was asking for, and Harold's talking to him. He says, this is all thanks to you, Saul. And Saul says, better sharp kids than sharp blades, huh? Man, I was yapping for like 2 minutes straight, and this entire page is just supporting what I was saying. I probably didn't even have to yap for that long. But aren't you afraid you've lost something here, Harold? Then Harold says in response, I don't believe that military power is what makes a country strong anymore. It's because of Ida. She taught me everything. Meeting her was the greatest blessing of my life. Oh my gosh. Bro, the recording software is blocking the chapter, and I scroll down and I see a grave. Are you serious right now? They killed her off screen. Oh my gosh. Well, regardless, I wanted to yap a little bit about this. I think it's kind of funny that Harold is one of the strongest in the entire verse at the moment. Literally, I think he might be top 5. And him being the king, it doesn't matter for other people to get to his level of strength, right? What matters is actually being peaceful and stuff like that. And not like, bro, I love that. Like, it's really ironic how Harold really is one of the strongest ever, and he's not raising the next generation to become one of the strongest ever. He's raising them to be able to live with the others. Mind you, if not for this dream, giants would probably still be enslaved or something like that. Like, bro. So we get into a flashback of this flashback and we're in this little cabin, I'm pretty sure, and Ida's talking to Harold. Hey Harold, Elbaf has really changed a lot. When I first came here, there was tons of internal conflict. It was scary, but you've changed everything. Now children can laugh and study instead. It's like a totally different country. And Harold says, the old customs, our backwards traditions, all of those bad practices from the warrior era will be thrown away. You know what? I think I just realized what's wrong with this. For me to explain this fully, I'm gonna use celestial dragons as an example. The two specifically I'm thinking of is that one guy who became a good celestial dragon, and also Dofi's dad. Now, I don't remember fully why Dofi's dad let go of being a celestial dragon, but let's just say both of them know that they're doing bad and they go about it 2 different ways. Dofi's dad decides to throw away everything that he knew before and try to build something anew. But Mosgard, I don't know if that's his name, but I'm going to continue calling him that. Mosgard stayed a celestial dragon, but I think he was trying to reform it from the inside. Now, this isn't completely one-to-one for what I'm about to yap about, but the point is one of them is trying to throw away all the old stuff, but the other one is trying to use the old stuff to create something new. And now how this yap turns into Harold. Harold is trying to throw away everything that came from the warrior era. And obviously, there were some bad things that come from there, right? Everybody's so mad, everybody's violent, you know, it was a bad place to be at. But the reason why giants were able to just do this is because they were so strong. So what Harold's actually doing is kind of hurting them in a sense. Like, overall, he's trying to make it better. They're trying to make their future better. But at the same time, they still need to be strong. I'm pretty sure Loki keeps saying this, that the country is soft and they need to be strong or something like that. He was right. And so that might be the one loophole in Harold's logic here. But let's continue reading the chapter. Oh, but I kind of like the whole warrior's pride part. It's really cool. You should cherish your culture. Then Harold says, don't you get it, Ida? It's that very culture that kept us from marrying. I can't accept it. Hey, once again, bro, I was not bugging for saying that it made 0 sense what was going on back then. You always did say you wanted to make me your legal wife. That really is the sweetest thing. You're so cute. But what about Loki? And Harold says, he'll always be Harwin's kid brother, won't he? And she says, in my heart, I've always thought of him like that. Feelings like that keep my heart full. It's what kept me going all this time. But don't worry, it's okay. You're everybody's King Harold. I was about to say she's cooked, but we know she's cooked. And you're almost there, right? And she's referring to the endeavors of the world government joining with Elbaf. That's right, it won't be long. Soon we'll be connected with the whole world. Our world will be tens of thousands of times bigger. Then we could go traveling together, just like the old days. Alright. Oda's trying to get me to cry, but it's not happening, okay? It's not happening. Anyways, I'm back. Alright, what was I saying? Alright, in the next panel we see Ida. She says, that sounds amazing. I'm looking forward to it. And oh my goodness, bro. She really died in his hands. Oh my. Yo, bro, don't. Oda, why you do this, man? Anyways, I'm back again. I had to drink some water. All right, I wasn't crying. Harold walks out of the cabin. Harden, you can see Harden running towards it. Oh my gosh, this cannot be real, bro. Oda, oh my gosh, Oda, stop, bro. The real ones know. The end of Whole Cake Island hit hard, and the reason why was because everything was silent. Well, not silent, but everything was muted, but all you could hear was like some music in the background. When this gets animated, it's over, bro. There is literally no dialogue in this page. Harden sees his dead mother. He's crying. Harold is crying. Loki's in a cell. Loki's holding back tears too, bro. Wait, is it me or does this remind me of Kuzan? Uh-huh. If I speak, I'm in big trouble. We skip a year and we're at Mary Joie. And apparently Shanks is missing? Indeed, he had completed his last mission. He would have been formally knighted. Alright, so we see that it's actually Harold and the Gorosei talking here. As you are our next choice, that opportunity now falls to you. What will you do? I'll naturally accept the honor of being one of the God's Knights. Doing that will secure Elbaf's membership status. In the next panel, bro, this I completely forgot that Harold was this big, but he's walking with them. Wait, how is this castle this big? Well, anyways, on the page it says, congratulations then, the Great One has agreed to trust in you. It's been a long process. You will be remembered as a king who brought great change to Elbaf. And then Harold says, well, to be honest, when Elbaf finally joins the world government, I plan to relinquish the throne. A younger, more virtuous ruler than I should take over. But suddenly it's interrupted because Imu says, that is a matter for me to decide. Obviously it doesn't say me, it says Imu. And Harold's shook. He's like, why is there someone on the empty throne? Imu says, come, I have been watching you very closely. That's basically what he said. In the first panel of the next page, the castle looks distorted and we see a scream. And then we see Harold. Is this art finished or what? Maybe this is intentional or maybe the art really isn't finished, but whatever. We see Harold and his mark is actually adding a little bit more detail. He's saying this power, it's surging within me. It's chilling. This is the power of immortality. It still sends shivers down the spine. He is now beyond any wild monster. He has been forged into a mighty weapon. Very funny, dude. Before I continue, I actually remember seeing this in the spoilers, and I saw people trying to gas this. People were saying this is a Shanks upscale because Shanks basically nerfed himself by not becoming a holy knight and getting extra power from Imu to beat Mihawk. What are we actually saying here? Also, I don't know why my mic does that sometimes. I hope it's not too loud for you guys, right? Anyways, let's just continue with the chapter, bro. The Shanks agenda is just ridiculous. Consider yourself an immortal knight sworn to me. Harold's like, immortal? I can't believe it. And then Imu says, carve an abyss pentagram in Elbaf that will mark the bond between us. And in the last 3 panels of the page, we see, I think this is Harold smiling, right? Thy dearest wish shall be granted as soon as this last mission is completed. Elbaf will be recognized as a member nation of the world government. I mean, hey, he finally got what he wanted. But at what cost? I guess we're about to find that out. So now we skip a little bit of time, obviously, because he's not just coming back to the castle. The pentagram is already there. Harold's on the throne and he's like, could you repeat that? Great Imu? Goodness gracious. Mobilize the entire nation and form a grand army of warriors. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is exactly what Rock said. The giant warrior fleet will stand alongside the Marines and serve the world as... And then before Imu can even continue, Harold cuts him off and he says, wait, no, hold on. Everything I've done was to free Elbaf from violence. Of course, if anyone still wishes to fight, I'll gladly encourage them to enlist the Marines, but... And then we see the guards outside of the throne room being like, who the hell is he talking to? Oh my gosh, this panel's crazy, bro. We see Harold and then oh my gosh, what a crazy panel. We see Harold and the eyes of Imu and he says, thou vowed to atone for Elbaf's history even at the cost of becoming a slave. Bro, he should have watched his words, bro. Then Harold's like, I meant to carry that burden alone. Imu says, the burden of such history is too great for thee to bear alone. Now hold your tongue, you cannot disobey me. That's basically what he said. I think from now on, I'm going to literally translate Imu's words. Those who enter into a deep sea covenant may gain immortality and power, but it comes at the cost of total obedience. You will carry out my orders regardless of your own will. And we see Harold start stumbling over himself. This isn't good, I'm losing control. Elbaf. They never meant for it to become part of the fold. Curse that Imu. Alright, are you serious right now? Alright, so this entire time I've been trying to cope for Harold, right? Last chapter it probably didn't seem like that because I said he was twerking and stuff, but like, bro, I mean, I was saying it at the beginning of this video, like his dream makes sense. But bro, I did not know Harold was this naive. I thought he genuinely knew he was teaming up with this evil government. Harold literally saw them destroying a non-affiliated world. He knows how bad these guys are. Alright, so what I was saying is actually confirmed here. If he was on God's Valley, it would have been over. But let's just continue, bro. Harold calls out to his guards, and in his thoughts he says, the plan was always to enslave the warriors of Elbaf. Did Rox not say this, bro? Wow, bro. I didn't know he didn't know this. Did that sound right? I think you guys understand what I meant. The guards pull up and they're like, what is it, your majesty? Is someone... And then Harold says, chain me to this pillar. Hurry and summon Elder Ja Rule and my sons. The guards then tell Harold that Harden's at sea and Loki is still in prison after what happened. And he's like, yo bro, none of that matters right now. Release him immediately. And so we go to the realm of the dead where jail was. And Loki gets freed. He's like, huh? Head to the castle at once. The king requires your presence. And then obviously they go to Ja Rule's house to summon him as well. And he's like, something urgent? What's going on? And then we get the narrator talking to us. And so we return to where this tale began. The day of the castle massacre. When Elbaf's most beloved king, Harold the Benevolent, lost his life. I'm not even going to sit here and lie. I did not think that it was this urgent. And what I mean by that is that Loki pulls up like nothing just happened. Like he wasn't imprisoned. Also, Ja Rule is walking way too slow for my, bro, they literally said something urgent and they're just walking through, talking to each other. Alright, actually, I just reread the chapter. Bro, how is there a guard talking about, let me consult with the king, as if, bro, Harold screamed at the top of his lungs, guards, summon Ja Rule and my sons. Like, bro, are we serious right now? Maybe this happened a little bit after, because there's no way it's the exact same. You guys can let me know your thoughts on that. But that was a really good chapter, and especially the death scene, I totally didn't cry to that. But yeah, everybody let me know your thoughts. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.